Welcome to Real Paranormal Activity, the network. Entertainment you'll enjoy.
You are listening to an RPA production, where people gather. LaFosse Corporation, LLC.
Hello, my friends and neighbors, my Mysterians. This is Terry from Texas, your presenter for Terry's Mysterious Moments. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm sure you probably have if you've been on the internet anytime in the last 3 months. The world has gone UFO crazy. I don't say UAP because that's the new cool way of saying it. UFOs are going crazy on the internet, and science is going nuts supposedly over this comet that's coming in and other things they're seeing, and they've just got a doomsday feeling about it all. Now, believe it or not, or accept it or not, here is my take on UFOs. I believe that there are things in the sky that we don't know what they are. That's the essential definition of a UFO, unidentified flying object. And they move. Now, one of the problems with this is that misidentification could be a lot of it. We could be seeing things that are natural, that's just the way they're made. They do this. We could be seeing things that are unnatural, and this is what they do. I have seen things in the sky and seen effects of something in the sky, but it doesn't cause me to believe that there are little strange looking straggly gray skeletal dudes flying them around. And to say that they're hyper intelligent, well, they keep crashing. So they can't be that intelligent. Or maybe it's just that they can't read road signs in English. Anyway, I once saw a silver sphere, fairly large, in the sky, and as I'm watching it, suddenly a smaller sphere shoots out of it, goes a ways out, and then comes back in. Kind of reminded me of somebody playing with a yo-yo and throwing it out and bringing it back. And then I lost it. I couldn't see it anymore. Well, one night I was at the drive-in movie theater with a friend, and we were watching the movie, and something drew our attention up to the top of the screen. And what looked like the leading edge of, the only thing I can call it is a flying wing, slowly goes over the top of the drive-in movie screen. And we were both looking at it. We both watched it. And when it went away, when it got out of sight, we looked at each other and both basically said, "Did you see that?" at the same time. Nobody else seemed to react to it. So I don't know what I saw there, but I still call that a UFO. And then one time, years earlier, when I was a kid and my 4 brothers and I shared a bedroom, and don't worry, it was a huge bedroom. Our room had windows to the west and windows to the south, and out the south window, about 8 feet away, was our garage. Our garage was made out of galvanized tin. It was gray with those speckles on it, and we had a tree growing up beside it. Well, I don't know what woke me up, but I looked out the south window to the garage, and there was light shining on it like car headlights. But If you pulled into our driveway, you wouldn't see shadows on the side of the garage because it was along in a line with the driveway. But the shadows of the tree on the side of the garage were coming from the west. So as I'm looking at the tree, the shadows are to the left of the tree on the garage. So we looked out the south window, and there's nothing out there shining a light. And this was not a light from above. This was like level to the ground, not too far up. It's like somebody with a flashlight. But there's nobody outside. There's no cars in the back field because you couldn't get back there anyway. And there's no reason there would be light shining there. And it stayed there for quite a while and then just faded out. So I'm saying that's the effect of the third one that I saw. Or if you want to go time-wise, that was my first one. So what is it that we're seeing in the skies? Are we just having a fit of social fear, and we're just seeing things? Scientists have a name for it. I can't think of the name right now. Where everybody sees stuff. It's like when you have reports of a Bigfoot in an area, suddenly you'll get a whole swamp of reports from that area. Now, I'm not saying Bigfoot is not real. I'm saying sometimes reports of Bigfoot are not true. People are just having a desire to get famous, so they make a report. I will agree that a lot of secondary reports for things paranormal, things abnormal, things supernatural may be the fact that people just want to report stuff. They want to get their name in the history book somewhere. And I pity the people that do that, but it happens. That's all I can say. But I'm seeing so much, specifically on Facebook, and this may tell me I need to get off of Facebook, but I'm seeing so much on Facebook from the supposed science sites about this stupid comet coming in. Oh, it came in at a great speed. Maybe they're coming in for pickup or, fried chicken or something. I don't think it's a created thing in the sense that there's intelligent life on it. I think it's a created thing as in it's a comet. It's just a very unusual comet. And it's a very big comet. But remember that floating bread loaf that came through a couple years back? Everybody was just sure it was the mothership. Well, it was just a rock, and it peacefully went on by. And I read something the other day that people are throwing a fit that this thing's going to collide with Earth, and someone came up with the scientific facts that the closest this thing's going to get to Earth is on the other side of the sun. They're panicking over fear-mongering posts. And, it's stuff that needs to stop. The science is supposed to be fact. And if you're running a science posting, you need to be factual about it. Most of your garbage that you're posting is exactly that. It's garbage. I say there are a lot of things that are being posted in the paranormal world which are not paranormal. Somebody posted a picture of an old house the other day and said, "Can you see the man standing to the left?" No, I can't see the man standing to the left. I referred to that kind of situation as wishful seeing. They see what they want to see. And that's okay for them, but for me, I'm just going to call it as I see it. Call shenanigans on it and be done with it. And I got severely ravaged online by this guy who thought that I needed an eye exam. Be that as it may, I just told him, I said, I can't see what you're seeing. And a lot of times when people post pictures and then put insets of close-ups of what they're talking about, they'll tell you what to look for, so people's minds will play with it and see what they're told to see. Now, that's not me. My mind may not work, but it doesn't work that way. So, what do I think about all this stuff? I believe that Bigfoot is real. I believe that we're going to find evidence one day, maybe not. You know, it's a 50-50 prop. I have an inkling. It's not full blown in my mind yet, but I have an inkling that Bigfoot may be an interdimensional being, because people see him and then poof, he's not there the next time. Now, by way of explanation, this could be that they're thinking that they're seeing something, and then when they blink, their mind has reset and they don't see what they thought they saw. That can be some explanations. Other kinds of cryptids. You know, the dog man, I would not begin to tell you what I think that is, because I don't know. I've never seen one. And I probably wouldn't be here if I did. I would be pushing up daisies. But there are so many things in the world that we don't know what they are, that we don't know where they came from, and we don't know what causes them. As a kid, I was fascinated by UFO stories, and I was fascinated by werewolf stories and different things like that. But as I grow older, maybe I'm becoming more discerning or just less gullible to BS. I think there were people who called themselves witches who thought they could do things by intoning a few words and putting frog knuckles in a boiling vat, and that would cause other things. I've heard it said that specifically in voodoo, and yeah, that's the way we pronounce it in Texas, so please don't correct me. In voodoo, in order to harm someone, number one, they have to know you're trying to harm them, and number two, they have to believe you're trying to harm them. Because the people who are involved in voodoo have an ultimate belief in this stuff, and they believe that people can hurt you with charms and things. I don't worry so much about that stuff because, number one, I don't believe in it, but it doesn't lessen the fact that other people do. I have seen an abundance of stories about things in this world that may not ought to be in this world. And as to whether people are actually seeing this stuff or they are making this stuff up, or, you know, it's a hard row to hoe to try to explain some of this stuff. And that's okay. I mean, that's why it's called the unknown. We don't know what it is. I fear that so many people are going to be afraid of these things that are being reported. You know, oh, this comet is coming to wipe us out. No, it's not. And honestly, from my point of view, which is a Christian perspective, if God is going to end the earth, he's going to end the earth. And I can't argue about it. I can't make a case to save it. Not that I'd want to in some cases. But let's get back on track, folks. Let's start being a little less excitable, a little less gullible, a whole lot less gullible, and for you folks that are posting things on the internet about doomsday is coming, remember the Mayans told us that 2012 was going to be the end of the earth. And here we are 13 years later, still pumping along. Funny thing about that, at the time I was working at one of those big box stores that everybody goes to and people keep getting arrested at. Those are fun videos to watch. And I said, the Mayans have done this business a great service, because they said, I think it was December 12th of that year of 2012 or December 22nd, something like that, was going to be the end of time. So I said somewhere back in October, we should have put a sign up on the door that said, according to the Mayan prediction, the world will end on this date. Therefore, we are not going to stock Christmas items, and we are not going to sell items with a return policy. I think it would have solved a bunch of problems. That's just me. Folks, I want you to have a good week. That's all the ramble I've got for today. I hope you'll come back and listen again to Terry's Mysterious Moments. It's been a joy doing it for you. Take care. Be good. Be careful. Be safe of all things. And when those little black-eyed kids come knocking at your door, remember, don't let them in. Don't let them in. So, y'all take care. This is Terry. I'm signing out. Have a good week. Bye.